Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. This is your boy, the coach from the WWE. I would like to welcome you to the very first wrestling podcast in the world to take you on a weekly deep dive into classic matches along with legends of the squared circle. Enjoy the discussion. Enjoy the back and forth. There's so much to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Payoff.
Welcome to an all-new episode of The Payoff. I'm Tom. That's Jeff. Jeff, how the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Like we're in the heat of it at this point. I guess we're kind of on the back half. We had main event. We had Clash at Italy. We got a couple weeks here until Night of Champions, and then it's going to be another main event, and then SummerSlam. Like we're just enjoying the summer right now of wrestling. That's all you can do.
Yep. It's as we always say, it's a good time to be a fan, but a lot going on. And I told you, with my kid into it, I'm watching it. I'm watching more than I ever have. I mean, I'm watching Raw live every Tuesday or Monday, which is a little excruciating, to be quite honest with you. But I'll tell you, the way they've set up Netflix, it's so annoying to watch the replay, because you can't really bounce around without the commercials. So I'm just like, you know what? And obviously it starts at 5:00 out here. So I'm just like, all right, from 5 to 7:30, it's on. And, we can take showers when it's a lousy match or something. But yeah, I just watching a hell of a lot of wrestling right now.
Yep. I hear you, man. Yeah. But it's all good stuff though. There's good things happening. Like if you're not finding something you like, it's your own fault. Like, as we've said before, like there's no reason for, we're not the AEW marks over here, but there's zero reason for you to not find something that you enjoy.
Oh my goodness. I mean, TNA, AEW, WWE, and then even within, and obviously independence, GCW, all the other stuff that's out there, but then even NXT, even within all that, then it's like it's such a, you can choose your own adventure, right? Like you can spend no money. You can buy AEW pay-per-views. You can watch highlight. I mean, like Raw, if you want to know what happened on Raw, there is a great 10-minute highlight video every Tuesday morning, and you can pull it up on YouTube and in 10 minutes know what happened. And you could do that, on your drive to work or something. I mean, it's like, so I don't know. I guess part of my frustration around the criticism of various products. Oh, AEW has, 4 hours of TV a week. Well, then don't watch it. Watch the highlights. Don't watch it at all. Don't buy the pay-per-views. But it's like, just you choose whatever you want. Like the NFL isn't mandating you watch every single game. Sunday Night Football, it's on so late. Then don't watch it. Who gives a shit, right?
Yep.
Oh man. All right. You ready to jump into this one?
Yeah, let's do this.
Tell us how you picked it.
Yeah, this was one. Picked it when we had a couple weeks back, not even weeks, couple months back, all those rumors that were swirling around Chris Jericho. So I threw a couple Chris Jericho matches on our list just to kind of see what would happen here. And we're just now kind of getting into them. But then also, as we did last week, like King of the Ring used to be like the June event. And so if you look at the history of when matches occurred, and it's kind of taken Night of Champions now is how it is, that a lot of King of the Ring matches happened in June. So that's why just a lot of these matches that it's like, okay, like this is actually a pretty good one. And when you look at it, it's like, oh, like a young Chris Jericho in 2000, Kurt Angle before everything went to shit, like in 2000, why not? Like it's kind of what it boils down to. Like not everything needs to be the main event or like we say, like 5-star. Like this was one of the better matches on the card for this show. And so, yeah, two guys, why not? Absolutely.
Good. Love it. And they're both in their prime and it'll be a fun one.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into the build.
Oh, it's time for the build.
Boston, Massachusetts, Fleet Center, June 25th, 2000. We had 17,651 in attendance, a buy rate of 475,000. I forget the statistic, and I may butcher it, but 2,000 was a very, very big and profitable year for the company. Like, we think of like 97, 98, even 99, but 2000, I remember just being like a huge year for them. So they were still like red hot, kind of attitude era-ish, even at this point. It was, a really good era, and you'll see based on who's on this card. Rikishi is going to defeat Chris Benoit in a King of the Ring match. Val Venus is going to defeat Eddie Guerrero in a King of the Ring match. Crash Holly is going to defeat Bull Buchanan in a King of the Ring match. And then the match we're covering, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho. So I won't spoil the rest of the King of the Ring matches, but obviously the tournament would continue to play out. We also had Edge and Christian defeating Too Cool, the Hardy Boys, and TNA to win the WWF Tag Team Championships in 14 minutes. Pat Patterson is going to retain his hardcore championship in a hardcore evening gown match in 3 minutes over Gerald Briscoe. Okay, see how Meltzer rated that one. That's why, man, when people complain about some of the stuff on TV now, I'm like, you remember the Attitude Era far more fondly than you should. The combination of DX, Tori, Road Dogg, and X-Pac are going to defeat the Dudley Boys in a handicap tables dumpster match. We got the King of the Ring final. And then in your main event, The Rock, Kane, and Undertaker are going to defeat Vince, Shane, and Triple H in a 6-man tag team match for the WWF Championship. So the winner of the match based on pinfall becomes your champion. That match went 17 minutes. So there's a hell of a lot happening on this show, Jeff.
Yeah, this is one good stuff. Jeez. King of the Ring. Like I remember always looking forward to King of the Ring as well too. It was one of the cooler kind of ideas. Like we've said it before. We know they're doing it with the Cena stuff, like the tournaments, the bracket type stuff. Like it makes sense. There's just why not do these types of things? And you could do a month of this like all the time. And so yeah, it just makes a ton of sense. And so. This one though, like kind of getting into what was going on, like you said, the Attitude Era and what we were happening, like these guys were not at the top of the card. And so, you had The Rock, you had Triple H, you had Undertaker, you had a lot of mid-card guys like Jericho and Angle where, Jericho was, good, but he wasn't a main eventer. Angle really like a rookie of the year type run and what he was dealing with. When it came to the build on this one, it was about respect versus arrogance and kind of the in-ring. So you had Angle, holding both he was the Euro, I'll say it right, the Eurocontinental champion because he held the Intercontinental and the European titles. And so Jericho, though, wanted those belts as well. You had the Angle, who was overconfident, the Olympic pedigree, but then you had Jericho, who was like a legit challenge. We knew who he was, like it could be really good stuff. And so they had some back and forth on TV leading up to this one, actually. So there was a little bit of history between them, and it kind of showing that Jericho, these guys can go. Like they have some good interactions together, and so and it truly was like you had the technical Angle, Kurt Angle. Could Jericho out wrestle him and beat him in this match to advance in the King of the Ring? Just good stuff. Yeah, doesn't need a ton, but it's got it.
Good, man. Looking forward to covering this one. We are at 2:03 left in the show on Netflix, King of the Ring 2000. Jeff, are you ready?
Let's do it.
It's time for the payoff.
Oh, it's time for the payoff.
Get it, Kurt. And that is true, Jerky.
Jericho never a loss for words, King.
Got that right.
All right, we're off and running here.
Those words, he should have kept them soft and sweet. There you go.
Pretty obvious that, just the way they're moving around, this is, like I said earlier, peak Jericho are pretty darn close, and peak Angle are pretty close, right? I mean, maybe a little younger and greener Angle here, but certainly, Jericho's smack dab, probably in his working prime, if you will.
Mm-hmm. The Teddy Long roughing. Yeah, I think so. Angle looks great, has hair, young, absolutely. Jericho, the long hair, looks good too. Both guys, yep.
Yep, that is Teddy Long as your ref.
Incredible, like the German suplex there, just incredible strength from Angle. Looks great. Yep.
Yeah, they are flying around. This is awesome. What's your theory on why Chris Jericho signed with AEW? And by the way, he said he'll leave, I think, some of the mystique out of it for now. So he is not publicly going to say, why he chose AEW, if he talked to WWE, etc. Right. What's your educated guess on all of this?
I think at this point I think he's a Tony Khan guy. Like, I think that's what it's evolved into a little bit. Like, I'm going to guess that him and Triple H had a conversation. But I'm going to guess like it wasn't the package that probably Jericho wanted. And so I got to believe that the workload, if he is truly treating it as, I'm going to put over some of the younger guys now, I don't have a problem with that. I think it's purely hey, I'm as old as I am. I can still go, but I need some reassurances here that like, I can be a lifer at this point. And so, because he's 55, so he will retire in AEW, I would think. And I'm wondering if that's part of the appeal too, is he saw how Sting went out. Like, nobody handles wrestler retirements well, but at the same time, like, is he saying, hey, I'm going to, in 2.5 years, I'm going to start writing, my climax here. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do. And so I don't think it was he chose. I think it was him picking the path that he wanted to go out on versus, it's WWE. I want the name recognition, like a Page, I'm coming home type thing. I don't think he thinks that's his home.
Yeah.
How about you?
Similar. I think this all comes down to control, and I'm sure he had a conversation with Triple H and maybe Nick Khan as well. My guess is neither Triple H nor Chris Jericho is incredibly fond of the other. I'm not saying they dislike each other, but I don't think there's a strong mutual respect or rapport between them. Like, I'd argue, as crazy as it sounds, I think CM Punk respected Triple H more than Jericho does. And I think Triple H valued CM Punk more than Chris Jericho, right? So, like, as weird as it sounds, I mean, I think there was the reunion of CM Punk and Triple H, the reunion of Triple H and Cody Rhodes. I think there's a stronger relationship and stronger respect there than there was with Jericho, and on both sides. Okay. So as they were talking, what I would assume became clear is, Chris Jericho can do whatever he wants in AEW. He can work whenever he wants. He can work against who he wants. He can come out to whatever entrance song he wants. He can be in the main event if he wants to be champion again. When he wants to retire, he can have whatever send-off he wants. If he wants it to be all in Winnipeg, then that's where the show's going to be, right? Yep. To your point, like the Sting send-off, okay? And what I'm assuming happened in those conversations with Triple H is you're not going to have that same autonomy, right? If we want you to retire at WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, that's where you're going to retire. And if we want you to work against Javon Evans and put him over, that's what you're going to do, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just and the creative types, the Edges, the Chris Jerichos, people that want to be more hands-on, they're going to prefer that, hey, I can tell Tony Khan whatever I want to do. So that's it. I mean, and this is the right spot for him, and he'll probably finish up his career in AEW. He'll probably go into the Hall of Fame and make some other action figures with WWE at some point. I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, and I you bring up a good point there too. I was like, how did, like, look at like some of these people that have come back. Like, how did Paige leave? She left. It was, injury. She still had a connection there. How did Cody Rhodes leave? Like, under just terrible circumstances. He started AEW, but he had something to finish in WWE too. I think that's a big part of it. Is what does Jericho have to finish? Like, Rhodes finished the story. Like, that was the whole point of him coming back, and the Stardust nonsense and forgetting that and moving on from that. Like, Jericho doesn't, I think that's part of it too, is there is, yes, you can tell a story, but there isn't like a built-in, he has to come back because, 20 years ago, Triple H wronged him. It's just not how it's playing out right now. It's just not the nature of it. And so I'm sure they have, like you said, I'm sure they have a professional respect for each other. I'm sure there was a conversation with them, but also it's like, hey, like, it could have very well been, we just don't see a place for you here. Like you have in AEW. And I truly think that like Triple H would tell him straight of being like, hey, yep, go ahead. I know we're thinking the same thing.
I was just going to say that. I could see him going, look, if Tony Khan's going to give you complete autonomy to do whatever you want and $5 million a year and to write your own story, go do it. And we'd love to put you in we'd love to put you in the Hall of Fame someday. And we're always here. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that that's the case. And like, I know with the firings and letting people go, it's tough. And there's
and look, I'm big Jericho fan, big Edge fan. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's this category of guys that are expensive.
Yep.
And they're really, really good. And they're first ballot Hall of Famers, but they're not the tippy top.
Nope.
And so I think there's part of TKO that's like, look, we'll give Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes $10 million a year. Okay. They are on ESPN, they're headliners, they're company guys. But when you start getting into like the guys making $5, $6, $7 million a year, the reality is that, I mean, I hate to say it, but guys like Edge and Jericho, they don't move the needle. And you've heard me talk about this before. There's only a handful of performers out there that move the needle. And you can count them all certainly on two hands, maybe one hand. CM Punk moves the needle. Brock Lesnar moves the needle. Roman Reigns moves the needle. Cody Rhodes moves the needle.
Well, and
then we're struggling. Then we're struggling to come up with a fifth name. Okay, I mean, there's just not that many. So Chris Jericho coming back to WWE is not going to sell a substantial amount of tickets or radically change the views on ESPN. So it just becomes a lot of money where it's like it's just a really tough spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think part of it too is more than anything, it's Stephanie. I think it was Stephanie. Yeah. Oh, yep. AEW does not have the feeder system that WWE does. Like, look at like Mason Rook. He's been out there, 2 months now? Like, part of the PC class. I saw, they announced some of the rookies the one that I didn't realize until after the fact, they announced Lacey Simon. She was the short blonde woman in that photo. She's Dean Malenko's daughter. And then Nicole Martinez. Stephanie taking bumps. You'll love it. There you go with the distraction.
Fast-paced match, a lot of fun. All right, finish your thoughts. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say that WWE doesn't have to sign these 50-plus-year-old guys anymore. because they've got 25 and under people that, yeah, in 5 years, they might be a great mid-carder. In 10 years, they could be the main eventer. You just don't know. And so I think that that's part of it is, you know what, Jericho, Edge, great examples of they don't, you know, we love you, but when it's time, you let us know. We'll put you in the hall. But until then, have fun at AEW.
Well, and remember, AEW, tell me what stars they've made.
Yeah.
Some people say MJF. MJF was doing that entire shtick before he got to AEW. Okay.
Yep.
Darby Allin, I'll give him that one. They've made him. Now, I think that's a polarizing character in terms of what people think of him. But other than that, there's a lot of 30, 35-year-olds that were signed for a lot of money and thrown on TV. Ospreay, Danielson, Omega,
the New Japan guys,
Jericho, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. None of those guys were made. So the question is, and this is what you're asking is, you know, how long can a company go without making stars? I mean, what are you going to do? Are you just going to try to find, okay, you bring in Kofi Kingston and Austin Creed. Great. For how long? Then what? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. To wrestle against Edge and Christian. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. So it's just going, I mean, I guess they could keep doing that, but isn't the whole point of being like an alternative brand that you're making your own stars? ECW made a hell of a lot of stars. WWE has always made stars. Okay. Yep. Even WCW, you know, it's like for as much as like the older guys ran it, you know, you still had guys like Booker T, you know, Edge and I'm sorry, not Edge, Jericho and Mysterio and DDP, there's a lot of
all them, yeah,
DDP, exactly. So, and I'll tell you, man, it's funny you brought up Mason Rook and that. I think this dude is Gunther. I think he's KO. I don't know why people are so fascinated with him looking different. Clearly, he has the athleticism. My guess is a year in the PC and his body's going to look a lot different. It might end up looking like KO. It might end up looking like Gunther, but he's going to change physically for the better. But dude, the kid can work. And you know Shawn Michaels is going to make him a star. Like I would bet anything on this kid. I don't know how I don't even know how that's up for debate. I don't know how some people are, you know, why is this guy on TV? Dude, he will be a star. Mark my words, okay? Yep. Mark my words. Unless there is injury or, you know, some other, you know, problem inside of him. But man, he's going to be a star. So,
yep, absolutely.
All right.
Cool. All right.
Let's get to the aftermath.
Ho! It's time for the aftermath.
What'd you think?
Yeah, that was great. Fast paced. It was a great kind of early King of the Ring match, like kind of early in the bracket match. Like it was really good stuff. Like just worth it. It's really what it boils down to. So really good. I enjoyed it. How about you?
Yeah. The only thing I would have liked better is if they had 20 minutes because it, you know, it's just part of a King of the Ring pay-per-view, which is fine, but really good.
Yeah, so both these guys, you know, Momentum is single stars, we know with kind of what they went on, and so trajectory was great for both of them and how it worked out. They had a couple other matches, but they really moved on to other stuff after this, and so it wasn't a ton, but, you know, we know what Jericho and Angle had turned into since, and so good stuff. So PWI this year 2000, you had Chris Jericho at number 9, Kurt Angle at number 13. Like I said, this one was given 3.25 stars by Meltzer. What are you thinking on this one?
For a payoff score, I'm going to give this a 6.5. I mean, it was good. It just, you know, a little short, but a good 6.5. I thought it was fun and fit the show and fit what they were trying to do. It wasn't for them to put on a 5-star 20-minute classic at this point.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7. I thought it was good. Like it was, you know, it was enjoyable. Like it was just a good kind of 2000 wrestling match. There was nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And so, yeah, I just thought it was good. No complaints.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Good job. You picked out a good one for us next week, man.
Next week we got a Money in the Bank cash in.
One of my one of my favorite matches, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm shocked we haven't covered it up until this point. And so, but we're going to cover it, of course, get into John Cena and Rob Van Dam from One Night Stand in 2006. Just the fabled classic as it is. Yep. So should be good, though. I haven't watched it in a long time, so I'm excited to go back to it.
Good. Well, we appreciate everyone listening. We'll see you next week on an all-new episode of The Payoff.